Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, I'm your host, Mrs. M. And if you haven't, make sure you click the link below. That way you can subscribe to my channel and not miss out on anything you need to scale your business to 6 figures and beyond. How? So I'm going to talk about what to do next. And I'm going to focus a lot, I call May, making money moves in the month of May. Now, of course, we want to do it all the time. But I just wanted to emphasize, I get so many people that call me and you can give them the information and they still get a little confused on what to do first. So in this video, I'd like to share with you some things that have worked for me and some of my other clients that I would recommend. Now, the first thing is finding out what we're going to sell. I always talk about focusing on 2 or 3 NAICS codes. I love the facility services, which is one that's 561210. Why? Because it encompasses a lot. It has security, landscaping, janitorial, and so many other things. So let's say that's a great one to start, and then you may choose another one that's kind of aligned with that particular one. You may choose IT, nursing. There's so many, but you want to find a place to start. I say try your best to narrow it down to 2, no more than 3. It looks like you're all over the place if you're all over the place. The next thing I know that worked for me when it came to private business is thinking of the person I'm looking to work with. Don't look at it as the government. The government is large. So you want to narrow it down and make it more personable so you can think about who am I working with. So choose an agency. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Look at doing an avatar. An avatar is where you think of the person's name. So let's say the person's Nancy. You give them a name, Nancy. Nancy is this contracting officer sitting in a building at a desk, probably just like you. First and last name, they're a person. And when you think of them as a person instead of as this large entity or something, I think it helps to make it more personalized so you're not thinking of it and like overthinking it. You're thinking of this is someone that has to do their job just like I'm looking to run my business. They're looking to buy products or services. I'm looking to sell products or services. Let's make this happen. So once you create an avatar, think of the person, think of a name, put a picture up. So that way it helps you thinking of them as an individual person. Once you've done that, then you're going to go into USASPENDING.gov. Now, when you've gone on to USASPENDING.gov, you're going to narrow down by putting in the keyword search what your NAICS code. So you're going to put in keywords for your NAICS code. So let's say you put in facility support services as opposed to 561210. Once you do that, they're going to give you in USASPENDING.gov, you're going to get all the agencies that work with you the most. Now, this is what I recommend. When you've narrowed it down to those 2 or 3 agencies, you then want to make sure that you try to cross-reference. So let's say, for instance, one of your NAICS codes has the Department of Defense. The other one has Health and Human Services. And both have Veteran Affairs. Well, of course, I'm going to go with Veteran Affairs because that's what both of my NAICS codes agencies have that in common. Now, once you've done that, I would then start looking for smaller agencies. The mistake a lot of people make, and let's just say Department of Defense is listed. Well, the Department of Defense may ask for some things that you don't have. You may be just getting started and you don't have a lot of past performances. So doing that may not be a good fit for you, even though they may be one of the top ones. I say look for a local one, and if you're just getting started, look for a smaller agency. So I might start with something like USAID, or I might start with maybe something with the Department of Prison System Bureau. I might look at doing something with Defense Logistics Agency, DLA. There are so many, that I would look at. They may be under the Department of Defense, but they're smaller. Then the next step is to visit their websites. Go to the website to get a feel for the culture of the agency you're looking to work with. They want to know that you care enough about them to make sure that you know what they sell and the culture of that agency. Each one is different. Find the one that fits your personality and your business, and then look at, do they look like they would be someone that has to have past performances, like maybe the Department of Defense. When you work with smaller agencies, you may be able to build a relationship a little easier because it is a smaller agency. The third thing I would do is then I would start looking at the fiscal year 2023 budgets. Yes, I start looking at the verbiage they use, start looking at what they're looking for. Then on top of that, visiting the website, I have my avatar, and the next thing is literally start writing introduction letters, capability statements to like a couple of them that are local. I like working with individuals that are in my backyard. Why? Because if I make that connection, I might be able to meet them for lunch. I might be able to reach out to them on LinkedIn, where they may ask me what do I do, and have me send them my introduction letter, my capability briefing, and my capability statement. So by working with an agency that's in my backyard where I can literally go visit with them is one of the most important things I feel you can do. Now, if you follow these steps and you work a strategy, so let's say, for instance, sam.gov, which is free, I may work that on Mondays. Sources sought, that's where they're not ready to actually have a solicitation, but they're looking for marketing. This is one of the best sources. And I've done videos, including a lot of information with sources sought, so please look at some of my previous videos, but this is a great strategy that I would probably use with sam.gov. The second thing is I might study the budget for the fiscal year 2023, write down some keywords, make sure my capability statement, my website, my positioning, my marketing for positioning my company in front of these agencies looks good by maybe putting in some of the words in the budgets that they're talking about they're going to need. Third, I may really spend time on FPDS, which is expiring bids. 70% of those bids are rebid every year. So if I'm looking for something with the Federal, Prisons Bureau, I might really look at their particular contracts that are coming up, going to be rebid, reach out to the contracting officer, build the relationship. I can't emphasize enough. For no bids, what to do for a no bid. That's what this is all about. What to do for a no bid. I like to position my company where I build the relationships and I don't have to do like maybe a proposal, an RFP or something. But I may end up having them reach out to me and asking, can my company provide these services? And if I position my company in the right way, I may be able to build a relationship where I am awarded the opportunity to perform the service before I do any bidding. This happens every day, all day. Now, don't discount RFQs and RFPs and RFIs. Definitely look at sources sought. But I would suggest what to do no bids is to make sure that I really concentrate on smaller agencies, building the relationships, setting up my avatar so I look at them as a person and not as this whole big, blue ocean of government, people sitting in these large offices. Make it more personal, and then it will seem more realistic. This is what I would suggest you start doing right away. Now, if you want to find more information, then guess what? Make sure you click the link to sign up for my free masterclass this Wednesday. I'd love to see you there. Every week, I give you actionable items that at the end of the masterclass, which is about an hour, you can implement right away. And my focus is always going to be on this. No bid, specifically in using FPDS, building relationships, going on to acquisition.gov, looking for upcoming, and then also making sure that I use sam.gov for current, which I'm going to really focus on sources sought. These particular actions over and over, implementing and tweaking. After doing a little bit, you'll really see some traction. So I hope to see you. Space is limited. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. Make sure you click the link and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.